So we're checking out the Reolink wireless camera. Unless you really count the wire that comes from the solar panel, this is a true wireless camera that does charge from the solar panel during the day. So let's go check it out. Now be sure and check out in the description. We will leave the links to purchase this camera as well as the links to a review since we did a giveaway on this camera. And I wanted to get a different perspective of not just my point of view on a camera. I wanted to see someone else's view on a camera and see how they would use it in their environment. So Mike S. did a great little review and a write-up, so I don't want to sit here and read his entire several-page review of the product, so I'll leave the link down in the description of the video and you can go check it out. It's a very good review that he wrote up of the camera in his environment. It's like we said, it does work cable-free with a rechargeable battery and your Wi-Fi connection. Now you may wonder, we talked about before not really liking some Wi-Fi cameras due to the strain it puts on Wi-Fi. Well, this being a battery camera, the battery camera tries to sleep as much as possible, so it's not doing a constant streaming of data on your Wi-Fi, so it won't have as big hits as, say, some other cameras you're using with Wi-Fi and then streaming all the time. Now there are two rechargeable batteries inside. Now they aren't removable since this camera is waterproof. The only thing that you can really get to is the on-off switch or the micro SD card to store your data files locally. So to cut to the chase, let's jump straight into the specs and see what the camera has. Field of view is 100 degrees of angle. It is 1080p, 15 frames per second. It has a PIR sensor. That's probably to help with the saved battery life instead of using the imaging to determine if there's an actual object moving across the lens. It's only 2.4 gigahertz, which does make sense because you do want to put it in probably some weird spots where you can't run power or you just can't run an Ethernet cable over there, which in our install we did put it in the very back of my backyard and installed it on the fence, and I probably couldn't be able to run a Ethernet cable out that far, but it worked fine on Wi-Fi. It does support up to a 64 gig SD card, and we used a 16 gig and stored quite a many days of motion activity on the device. And of course, we'll show a few sample videos we pulled straight from the SD card towards the end of the video. It is IP65 certified, and I can guarantee you we had several downpours of several inches of rain within an hour, and I never had any issues with the camera losing connectivity or getting wet or whatever. So it definitely works with being weatherproof because we had it straight out on the elements and not under any type of roof. It was mounted straight on the fence. So enough of the nitty gritty. Let's go unbox the solar panel and the camera and check them out. So of course we'll open this backwards. So we'll look at the solar panel. Definitely a must. I'm not going to go about charging cameras or anything that are wireless. You'd like to charge them off of solar. Got the guidebook, quick start guide, and we'll look at that later. Yeah, point it towards the sun. Mount the bracket. And plug it in. Yep, pretty simple. So, solar panel. Looks like bracket to mount on the wall with screws and anchors. And that's it. Let's check out the panel. 2.8 watts, 6 volt DC, 480 milliamps. Pretty simple stuff. Put a long cord, and looks like it has a rubber grommet to put over the micro USB that plugs into the camera. Be prepared, be Reolink. All right. All right, so what else we get in the box? We get USB charging cable, anchors, looks like the mount with a mounting plate. We'll see how that goes. And a strap. What they're worried about it falling out of something. We may look at the book to see what they recommend for the strap. So I know we need the antenna to at least pair it. course, we'll pour everything out like an idiot. Interesting. Looks like probably a PIR sensor of some sort. Light sensor in the lens. So the antenna goes in, and that's for the mounting bracket. What do we got here in the back? Ah, that's where the grommet and the solar panel plug in at. Keeps it probably somewhat water resistant. And this slot, looks like we got a speaker, possibly the microphone too, if it's 2A. And there's the on-off switch and the micro SD card. All right, let's turn this bad boy on. Is there any lights on?
Camera has been started up. Please run Reolink app, add the camera, and set it up.
So point at the phone.
Scan succeeded. Camera is connecting to your router. Please wait. Connection to the router succeeded. Welcome to Reolink.
And once you pair the camera with the app, if you do want to use the camera with your various smart home displays or Chromecast or whatever it might be sure to go to the Cloud tab, click on Smart Home, and then you'll need to enable which cameras you want to be able to use with your various displays. So to fine-tune the settings, there's not a whole lot of settings to go through. It's real simple, but if you want to go ahead and go through, since you're one of the tinkerer types, click on the little cogwheel, and you should get the battery display. It will also show how long the camera has ran during the day. For each day, it's pretty cool. You can adjust the display, the rotation, the camera name, etc., the quality. If you want to bump the quality up or you want to turn it down, totally up to you. So pretty simple settings. You can go ahead and run through them, all straightforward. So of course, in the camera itself, when you pull the app up, you can change the quality from fluent to 1080p, and that will help you save data, or say if you're on a slower LTE connection or 3G connection, you can change that down to fluent and make sure you can see the frames instead of in full 1080p. You can also record clips right here. You click on the record button and it will record it straight to your phone. And of course, you can also take snapshots. And real simple, if you have the SD card in there, you can go ahead and hit playback. And you can play back all your various video clips. Simply just use the slider and click the clip you want, and it will play back straight on the app. Pretty cool. DVR in your pocket. So other than that, camera works great with the app, and if you're familiar with the Reolink app, it's going to integrate in straight in with your other cameras. Now do keep in mind, this is pretty much the only downside that I've found for this camera is due to it being a battery camera, you can't do a streaming software such as Blue Iris or Motion Eye. You're going to have to use the Reolink app to view your cameras. It's pretty much the downside of it, but given it is a battery-powered camera, I can understand that you can't pull constant streams from it, because otherwise it would probably last an hour or two. If you're looking for a camera, something like that, I would highly suggest the Reolink PoE cameras. They're great prices. I've got several of them myself that I use around the home. Now, one side note, if Reolink, if you're watching, definitely make us a 4K wider view angle camera that we can use with our TSP. That'd be great. So thanks goes out to Mike S for doing the review on the giveaway camera. And I appreciate Reolink for sending these camera sets over for us to check out and do a full review on. But all in all, great little camera. It's not for being able to do Blue Iris or say a constant stream, since it is a battery powered camera. But if you got some special situation where you can't run any type of cabling to, hey, this will work out perfect. Didn't have any issues with it keeping a charge, even though I didn't have it in full sunlight with the solar panel facing the sun all the time. I was really impressed with that aspect of it. I was only catching sun for a few hours during the evening and it stayed charged. About the only thing, of course, this would probably not be a camera feature, would be during rainstorms like this, need a little windshield wiper of some sort on the front of the camera to keep the lens clear. But if you install it somewhere a little different and not have that issue of rain hitting the lens directly, you shouldn't have that issue, and it does dry off pretty quickly. So if not already a subscriber, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, give us a comment down below, and be sure and check out the description for the links and Mike S's review of this camera that he did. And y'all take care.
No.